Good evening, Uganda, and welcome to Newsnight at 8 p.m. East African Standard Time with me, Winimute Simpera. And to begin with, people with albinism have called on government to lead efforts against discrimination by increasing their representation in public employment. The call was made during the celebrations to mark International Albinism Awareness Day held at Wachiso District Headquarters.
As the world prepares to mark International Albinism Awareness Day on June 13, people with albinism from different parts of Uganda have gathered at Wachiso District Headquarters to celebrate their achievements, encourage one another, and raise awareness about the challenges they continue to face. The Executive Director of Women and Children with Albinism in Uganda, Doreen Naweje Mayanja, said the annual event is important because it helps them empower people with albinism and creates awareness among the public about their rights and capabilities.
Because had it not been for it, maybe we wouldn't have been celebrating this day on a national level.
Naweje notes that discrimination remains a major challenge to many of them, thus urging the government to set an example by employing more people with albinism in public institutions.
If the government itself is not exemplary, how? For instance, when it comes to the employment sector or with job opportunities or giving posts in offices, you cannot saying that there must be inclusion, we should shun discrimination. Some of these things are better seen than described. These policies can easily be implemented when there is something visible and tangible. For instance, how many offices whereby, let me say, offices or boards whereby government parastatals or government bodies where you see persons with albinism on executive posts.
Albinos are calling for equal employment opportunities as Uganda marks International Albinism Awareness Day ahead of tomorrow's commemoration.
That we've been able to tap into that, to see that we do boost our social enterprise for economic empowerment. That is tapping into the UEP program or the UEP grant, which we have benefited from. Yes, we are not where we started, but still there is what we are still urging or requesting the government.
Participants who attended the event were wearing protective clothing, hats, and other gears designed to shield them from the harmful effect of the sun, while others joined in entertainment activities and celebrations. A government school teacher living with albinism, Thomas Opio, said many people with albinism continue to express stigma and mistreatment in their communities, so there is need for increased public sensitization to improve understanding of albinism and eliminate discrimination.
Those ones who are informed about us, respect us and perceive us as people. But those ones who have hardly met us once they see us the first time, some run away, some keep calling, you see, trying to nickname you, you see, and remember when we are called albinos, that kind of talk, we are not happy about it. We are not happy about it. We need to be called usual names. If we are professional like myself as a teacher, I need to be called Mr. Opio, now like myself. Not by calling me otherwise, that other name there.
Catherine Namulindwa, a student, appeals to government to support local production of sunscreen products, saying accessing affordable sunscreen could help reduce cases of skin cancer among people with albinism.
We are many. But for the issue of sunscreens, we call unto you. At least give a hand. If there is, maybe they can at least improvise on the little space we have, and at least they improvise with the sunscreens. It will do us well to reduce the issue of skin cancer, the direct sunshine attaching us. As we see, the skins do not match with the sunshine. So the main call for you is the sunscreens.
International Albinism Awareness Day is commemorated every year on June 13th to promote the right, inclusion, and well-being of people with albinism across the world.
Well, as government continues efforts to restore wetlands and protect the environment across the country, the Wakiso District Wetlands Officer Veronica Nalunga has warned all individuals who purchased land in wetlands to vacate them immediately.
Leaders who authorized transactions and issued arrangements to land occupants are asked to intervene in compensating the affected people. Wakiso District Wetland Officer Veronica Nalunga made the warning during the wetland restoration exercise along the Mayanja River wetlands covering the areas of Namayumba, Chira and Gobero in Wakiso District.
Lubadde lulaganga lukyali wamu lwekutte wamu ebitoogo binyirira birabika bulungi naye abantu baffe abetooloddewo bagenze maaso n'okulimamu era nga balimiramu emmere kwegamba bo nga bakitwalanga ekifo ekitaliiko agamba era ne bagenda maaso okubanga balimirayo.
The operation targeted plantations of eucalyptus trees, reeds, vegetables, maize plantation and other development established in protected wetland areas. The exercise was conducted with support from Ministry of Water and Environment, security agencies and the Uganda Police Force together with the Environmental Protection Unit.
No, we don't have enough material. We hired the casual people.
Security deployment by the police and UPDF was strengthened in the areas of Gobero, Chila and Namayumba as officials responsible for environmental protection in Wakiso District working alongside officers from the Ministry of Water and Environment. Godfrey Sekeba, who oversees enforcement operations in the Ministry of Water and Environment, said the exercise is aimed at enforcing the established wetland boundary makers, separating dry land from protected wetland.
This research starts, and then after, really show otherwise, mine is to also thank members for having responded.
Some of affected residents expressed the dissatisfaction and presented their complaints to the authorities regarding the destruction of their crops and developments.
Batandikira ku kanisa nevaawo n'essomero ekitegeeza nti obulamu butufu weebuli bwanjawulo tetumanyi kyakuzzaako singa basose ne batuteekerateekera gambako kale ekitegeeza ffe abali wansi tulimbwa faako kati singa leero essomero balimenye twandika kasala nti owaayi nema ntuufu kyekola naye kati ate essomero olirese ate ffe otulugunyiza ffe abajji we tujja ssente ezigenda okuweerera omwana atogyeewo.
Speaking during the operations, Veronica Nalunga rated her warning to all who bought land in wetlands to vacate immediately and seek redress from those who sold them the land. Nalunga added similar enforcement operations will continue, especially in areas where permanent structures have not been yet constructed.
Era entobazi bwe tuba tukoze impacting eno ne tusaawa emmere n'evaawo olutobazi we lwali lwekomyawo lwokka ne we luba lubadde luwedde kalituusi mumulabye tumusemye era machine ndooza mugiwulira mu background eri mu kutema kalituusi it's a draining plant emalamu amazzi era awali kalituusi mulaba nga amazzi gakendede naye ke mutumugjeewo kitegeeza amazzi gagenda kujja kagula olutobazi ezo ensonga zimalirize na chairman wo yamanyi kubanga olutobazi ekisookera ddala tewali tteeka ligaana muntu kutunda naye kyewagula wasooka n'otegeera kiki ky'onookikozesa.
Before the exercise began, security personnel held a meeting and compliance with the law throughout the exercise.
Buganda Kingdom Premier Charles Peter Mayiga has introduced a steering committee for the 23rd coronation anniversary of
coordination, action and compliance with the law throughout the exercise.
Buganda Kingdom Premier Charles Peter Mayiga has introduced a steering committee for the 23rd
anniversary of the Kabaka's coronation. It is a practice in the kingdom since 1993 to commemorate the coronation. We do commemorate the coronation because the coronation signifies the heritage of the Kingdom of Buganda. The coronation is a symbol of our victory as subjects of the Kabaka, because the Kabaka is the custodian of our value systems. And when he was enthroned, it means that our value systems are still alive. Of course, the cardinal point is that Kabaka, as the custodian of our value systems, you know, when he's enthroned, it shows that our value systems are still alive and that generations to come will cherish the moment the Kabaka was crowned, because our value systems and beliefs were brought back to life. So we commemorate the coronation every year, and even this year we shall commemorate the Kabaka's coronation. And as has been the practice in the last few years, we've been commemorating the Kabaka's coronation in different houses of worship. In 2024 we are in Namirembe Cathedral. In 2025 we are at Kivuli Mosque. Now this year we shall be at Watoto Church, at a place that will be determined between the organizing committee of the coronation anniversary and the leadership of the Watoto Church. The coronation anniversary organizing committee is headed by Owekitiibwa Joseph Kawuki. It's going to be deputized by Owekitiibwa Robert Serwanga. Other members are Owekitiibwa Noah Kiyimba, Owekitiibwa Israel Kaziwekitoke, Owekitiibwa Ahmed Magandazi Matovu, who is the Kago, the county chief of Chadondo.
Kama Katikkiro, nze ne bannange bano tuli basanyufu olw'obwami obutuweereddwa. Era twagala okweyama tujja kukozesa obuvumu okulaba nti olutabaalo luno tuluggusa bulungi. Tetumanyi lwaki ffe twasiimiddwa ku mulundi guno, naye tuli bannamukisa okuba nti emyaka 33 kigenze mu byafaayo nti ttiimu eno yeekulembeddemu. Awo nno Mukama tujja kukozesa obuvumu obwannamaddala.
For this year's celebrations says that courage as we promote and protect our value systems. I think the correct word should be fortitude. Fortitude as we sustain and promote our value systems. Fortitude.
In other news, over 400 people who are operating from the forest of Namfuka in Butambala district are jubilating after the president's directive to restore their areas. Through The president's office, led by Rebecca Atwine, has sat down the angry residents to settle their issues regarding land.
Recently, the president of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, ordered that all the residents who were occupying the forest area found in the areas of Nsowe Gomba, Namfuka in Butambala district to be resettled. Residents have ever since been denied to resettle in those areas, while allowing a few who are alleged to have given a kick back to the authorities. Rebecca Atwine from the office of the president says that although the gazetted areas were occupied by the trees, people can still settle around until the trees are cut. Livingstone Kabonge, the area local council, shows how disappointed they are due to the hardship and disappointments they have taken them through. Twine has assured the residents that although they have gone through hardship, very soon they will be settled. Twine calls upon the authorities to use their offices positively and help the grassroots people instead of enjoying fresh air in their offices on the expense of the local people.
You're still watching Newsnight. I request you to have a short break.
Today we are in Makerere College School and we've got our winner, and that is none other than Michelle. I am sure you've already gotten the school fees and the excitement is already there. Thank you so much.
Michelle has won school fees for a year. Never Zaba Momo. 3 times paid, cleared.
You can also stand a chance to win. You simply have to dial *165 *80# or use the Momo app. Schools that accept students to pay school fees using Momo also stand a chance to win a van. Pay your school fees. You never know, you could be the lucky winner.
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando, like a daily bando, like akadiri bando omuliro nguwulira mulingo mutima kukankana like drums kalakata kalakata enendongo yakusabula mikono free of fire free of fire free of fire.
Early risers give their tithe of the time of the day to God. By going on their phone to read, or in their Bibles to read, whatever Bible you read, electronic or paper, you give God an opportunity to work in your life in the morning.
Okuyita mu kusoma Bayibuli yabo oba yakusimu oba yabuliwo naye akaseera ko wakatonda ng'osoma Bayibuli n'ekigambo kye oba oyingiza Katonda ng'omuwadde ekiseera ky'okumakya.
For me, I read 2 to 3 passages or chapters a day.
Nze nsoma essuula 2 ku 3 olunaku.
That's what I do. 2 to 3 chapters a day. And I know that is good. In the morning, before I get out. But after that, these people, they gather their thoughts for where they want to go. And after that, if they have time, they go to work, or they are still at home, they start working on their projects.
Omuzadde omulungi kankwanjulira essomero erigenda osomesa omwana wo ku mutindo ogwesiimisa Code High School Ssetabajjo Kampala. Bw'oleeta omwana wo ku Code High School ku magezi ag'omu kibiina ajja kugatako emisomo gy'ebyemikono ng'okufumba, okukola enviiri, okutunga, okuvuga n'okukanika, amasomo ga kompyuta kw'ossa n'amasomo g'ennimi omuli Oluswayiri, Olufalansa n'ebirala bingi. Okuwandiisa abaana kugenda mu maaso ku ssomero ne ku ofiisi y'e Makerere Kavule. Okumanya ebisingawo tukubire ku 0773 295 900. Code High School Ssetabajjo Kampala, building leaders now.
Tired of the limits? Tired of slow connections? It's time to break free. Introducing BCCnet from Blue Crane Communications. Choose the package that fits your life. BCC Lite, 20 Mbps. BCC Pro, 50 Mbps. Or BCC Extreme, 100 Mbps. For every need, every moment. Learning, conferencing, gaming, and so much more. Switch to BCCnet today. BCCnet, fast, reliable, and true unlimited internet. Blue Crane Communications is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
Muzadde yenna weetaaga okuwa omwana wo omusijja omulungi mu byenjigiriza kati kankwanjulire Life Primary School Ssetabajjo. Lino ly'essomero lyokka gy'ogenda okutwala omwana wo omuto afune ebyenjigiriza nga bya mulembe. Essomero lino lyakakasibwa Ministry ey'ebyenjigiriza n'ebyemizannyo. Liri mu kifo kigazi bulungi, lirina computer lab, ekisaawe ky'ebyemizannyo, omugunjulo ebitone by'abaana. Bw'otuleetera omwana wo obeera n'obukakafu abaana bayita bulungi ebigezo, bagunjula bulungi mu mpisa ne mu ddeeni, ebisulo byabwe bya mulembe ddala ate nga balabirirwa bulungi. Life Primary School lisangibwa Ssetabajjo, kilomita 1.5 okuva ku Jinja Kampala Highway. Okyamira ku Kigunga Trading Center. Okwewandiisa kugenda maaso ku ssomero wennyini. Okumanya ebisingawo kuba ku nnamba za simu zino 0768 59 57 12 oba 0743 35 55 25. Life Primary School Ssetabajjo, Future Transformers.
Newsnight back from the short break. Today, City Hall Court has sent the suspects who are involved in the killing of Sydney Jabi Gongodio, a former rugby player, to Luzira prison until the 26th of June 2026.
Suspects accused of killing former rugby player Sydney Jabi Gongodio have appeared before the City Hall Court, where Magistrate Edgar Kakaire read to them the charges of murder and remanded them to Luzira prison until June 26th of 2026.
23rd of June this year. That is when you will reappear in this court. And then Kabugo Henry, you've understood? Okay.
Those presented before the City Hall Court included Mugwisha Obedi, 39 years old, a boda boda rider and resident of Nsimbiziwome Zone, Nakawa, Kampala; Mondoni Eli, 33 years, a resident of Luzira Port Bell; Owino Joseph, 30 years, a private security guard and resident of Bukoto in Nakawa; and Kabugo Henry, a boda boda rider residing in Bukoto Old Chira Zone.
Muvunani w'omusango ogw'okutta omuntu era nga etteeka omusango guno weguviirira baliyita Penal Code Act akawaayiro 170 ne 172. Kigambibwa nti mwe abana n'abalala abatannabakwatibwa nga 5 omwezi ogw'omukaaga omwaka 2026 mu bitundu bya Upper Naguru East Road mu district y'e Kampala nga mwine ekigendererwa ate nga mwayita mu bumenyi bw'amateeka mwatta oba mwaleetebwa okufa kwa Gongodio Sydney Jabi. Now,
the magistrate informed the accused of the murder charges but did not allow them to enter a plea because murder is a capital offense that can only be tried by the High Court. State Prosecutor Miriam Akite told the court that investigations are still ongoing and that there are other suspects who have not yet been arrested. She requested an adjournment to allow investigators and police more time to continue their inquiries and apprehend the remaining suspects. According to the prosecution, on June 5th, 2026, along Upper Naguru East Road in Kampala, the accused and others still at large allegedly took the law into their own hands and attacked Sydney Jabi Gongodio, a 27-year-old rugby player. They reported beat him with sticks, pavers and stones after suspecting him of snatching a woman's handbag. The assault resulted in his death. The prosecution further states that some of the suspects were identified and arrested following the circulation of photographs and videos on social media showing them assaulting Gongodio. Magistrate Karakire adjourned the case until June 26th of 2026 and remanded the accused to Luzira prison.
Rest in peace, Sydney. The Employment Amendment Act 2025 stipulates that sexual harassment and intimidation are prohibited. Therefore, the 9 men who are alleged to have been sodomized 5 years ago will be helped by this act if the culprit is convicted.
Top Media Group is determined to bring information that shows how people's lives were violated in this world, but particularly in Uganda. In the ongoing case, the 9 men who say they were seduced because they were offering services or work with Pastor Robert Kayanja and they were diverted into sexual harassment is the way of diverting them from the Employment Amendment Act. It is alleged that Pastor Robert Kayanja, before seducing these men who were seeking justice in courts of law, he first promised them work, and during their time of work, that is when they were sodomized. So, since the Employment Amendment Act 2025 shows sexual harassment, intimidation prohibits the offenders, the law will catch up with all those involved themselves in such acts.
The second audio has been played of 26th of March, where Pastor Kayanja was having a church service, a live church service, which was also aired on Channel 44. It was partially played, but just a brief take from that recording. Pastor Kayanja claimed that what was in those audios had been confirmed by court that it never happened. Again, we are stating that when you listen to that entire publication, what he was stating, this especially, that what was in those audios never happened, that was confirmed by court that it never happened, is a total lie. It was a distortion of what happened in court. But even when you read through, he goes ahead, that's where they go ahead to state that even the lawyers were warned. So we pray that the commission takes time to follow the entire recording. They go ahead and even say that the lawyers were warned to stop wasting court's time and stop bringing wickedness to court. All that never happened in court. Court has never warned anybody. Court has never, I'm the lawyer on record, court has never warned us as alleged. So we pray that the commission looks at the proceedings. It will confirm that those statements do not appear in the proceedings, and that confirms that is a total distortion. These are deliberate lies intended to give a certain narrative. So we'll pray that court allows us to consider the recording of 26th March 2026 and abandons and corrects the mistake we had made, referring to
Top Media Group is determined to bring information that shows how people's lives were violated in this world, but particularly in Uganda. In the ongoing case, the 9 men who say they were seduced because they were offering services or work with Pastor Robert Kayanja and they were diverted into sexual harassment is the way of diverting them from the Employment Amendment Act. It is alleged that Pastor Robert Kayanja, before seducing these men who were seeking justice in courts of law, he first promised them work, and during their time of work, that is when they were sodomized. So, since the Employment Amendment Act 2025 shows sexual harassment, intimidation prohibits the offenders, the law will catch up with all those involved themselves in such acts. In the same spirit, Article 50 of the Uganda Constitution gives the mandate everyone who sees the rights are violated should report to nearby authorities.
That's all we had for you on Newsnight today, the 12th of June 2026. It's me, Winnie Mutesimpera, wishing you a very good night.
Queen of Karma, I know I cut you deep. I've been learning in my sleep. Nike man on fire, mama, you still fight. Learning in my sleep. Nike man on fire.